Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a Pet Simulator X style portal system so that when you get close to a portal you can press E to purchase it and it will teleport you to it. Now it did not subtract any money because I already own this portal, and this will actually save if you leave and rejoin the game. Before this video starts, if you guys want to support me and want to have access to all of my project files, including the one you're watching right now, they will all be available in my Patreon in the $10 tier. With that being said, let's start. Okay, so here we are in an empty base plate. What I'm going to do to start off with is create a script. I'm going to call this Leaderstats, and this is just going to be our Leaderstats script. So local players is equal to game get service players, and player added connect function player, and local leader stats is equal to instance.new folder, and local leader stats.name is equal to and leader stats, and leader stats.parent is equal to and the player. And then I'm going to create a currency called coins, and the coins will be equal to instance.new string or int value, and coins.name is equal to coins, and coins.value is equal to 100, coins.parent is equal to leader stats. So what I'm doing here is basically I'm getting the player service, and then whenever a new player is added, I'm just creating a folder, renaming it to Leaderstats. Whenever you rename a folder to Leaderstats, it will basically show up on the leaderboard here. Let me show you. So if I just go ahead and play the game, you should see that we have a leaderboard here that we can access by pressing tab, and that's what happens when you rename a folder to Leaderstats. And if you change the name of this folder, for example Leaderstats with a capital L, it will not display on the leaderboard, but what it will do is create the folder inside of your player. So if you don't want the Leaderstats to appear, you can just rename the folder to Leaderstats with a capital L or any name that is not Leaderstats. And then I'm just creating a coins value, setting its default value to 100 and parenting it to the Leaderstats. So what I'm going to do now is create a part which will be our portal part. So I'm just going to create a small part size. I'm going to change the size to 10, 1 or 2. I'm going to place it here, and I'm just going to change the material to neon so that it looks like a portal, and then I'm going to change the color to a nice little purple, and that looks pretty good. Okay, so this looks good. What I'm going to do now is add a folder to the workspace, and I'm going to call the first folder portals, and add another folder, and the second folder will be named destinations. Add another part to the destinations folder and rename this part to whatever you want, and make sure that anchored is checked by going to the properties tab and searching for anchored, and check this and make sure that can collide is unchecked so that the player doesn't collide when he teleports to the part. And I'm just going to drag this up so that the player doesn't glitch through the ground. And I'm going to change the size of this. This is optional, by the way, you don't have to change the size, but I'm going to change it to 2, 2, and I'm going to change the transparency to 0.5. Now what I'm going to do is make sure that the actual portal is anchored. Same thing, anchored checked, and I'm going to drag this inside of the portals folder, and I'm going to rename this to portal 1. Again, you can rename this to whatever you want. And I'm going to press the plus icon here and add an object value to the portal, and I'm going to rename this to destination, and set this value to wherever you want the portal to take you. So press this and click on your part here, and that should set the value to the part. Now I'm going to close this, and I'm going to add a module script to script service, and I'm going to call this portals underscore server or module, or maybe portals underscore server, and I'm going to change this to portals, or okay, portals. Okay, so I'm going to get some services here. So local, actually we don't need the services right now, so function portals dot setup, and I'm going to create the reference to our portals. So local portals is equal to, and workspace dot portals, and local destination is equal to workspace dot destinations. And then what I'm going to do is for underscore comma portal in pairs portals on get descendants, so get descendants do. Okay, so this does not work. I think I spelled descendants wrong. Workspace will get descendants. Okay, so I did not spell descendants wrong. If portal colon find first child destination do then. So we are looping through all of the parts or models that are inside the portals, and we are checking if it has this destination value, and if it does, then local proximity prompt. So local proximity prompt is equal to instance.new proximity prompt, and proximity prompt dot action text is equal to purchase for space dot and price. Now we don't have a reference to this price, but we'll get back to that later. And proximity prompt dot parent is equal to portal, and that should be it. Now I'm going to add an int value to the portal, and I'm going to rename it to price, and I'm going to set the price to 10 for this one, and I'm going to do local price is equal to portal colon find first child price dot value. Now I'm going to do dot price, and now I'm just going to call this function, so portals dot setup, and then I'm going to add a script here, and I'm going to call this require and local module, so local m or local portals underscore server is equal to require, and script.parent.portals underscore server. And what I'm going to do is drag this portals underscore server inside of the script, and I'm going to call the require script maybe just portals, and I'm going to change this to script.portals underscore server, and then I will play the game and see if this works. So I'm going to view the output for any errors, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna have an error, and let's see why this is happening. For I, v in pairs portals colon get descendants. Okay, so the reason why this is happening is because our module here is named portals, so I'm going to change this to module or main module, and change this to also main module, and then this should work. And if you play the game now, that should hopefully work. And we have another problem here, and that is because change this to main module.setup. Also I forgot to change this to main module.setup. And then this should work. And as you can see, it does work. And what we need to change is for this to say for 10 and the currency. So I'm going to change this to purchase, and proximity prompt dot I think it's called object text, yes, is equal to, and price dot and the currency. So local currency is equal to, and portal find first child currency dot value. Okay, so price dot and a space dot currency, and if you play the game now, that should look pretty good. And that does not work, and it's because we don't have a value called currency inside of this. So add a string value to our portal and rename it to currency, and I'm going to change this to coins, and then this should work. Okay, so as you can see, it says purchase 10 coins. And now what I'm going to do is create a function here. So function by portal or purchase portal or main module dot purchase portal, and that will take the actual portal, or maybe we can just get the, okay, so I'm just going to send the portal. And what I'm going to do here is proximity prompt dot triggered connect function, and that will take the player, and I'm going to call the function, so main module dot purchase portal, and I'm going to send the player and the portal. So now I'm going to change this to player comma portal, and in here what I'm going to do is fire a remote event. So I'm going to go to replicated storage, add a folder called portals, and I'm going to add a remote event. I'm going to call this, or I'm going to change this to portal remotes, sorry, and I'm going to rename this remote event to purchase portal. And what I'm going to do here is fire this remote event. So I'm going to get a replicated storage service, so local replicated storage is equal to game get service replicated storage, and then replicated storage dot portal remote dot purchase portal fire client, and that will take the player and the portal dot name, or actually just portal dot name. Actually, that will just get the portal. And now exit out of that script, and we're gonna create a screen GUI instead of start GUI, and I'm going to rename the screen GUI to portal GUI, and I'm going to add a frame, and I'm going to resize this frame. I'm going to make it about this big, and then I'm going to rename it to main portal frame, and I'm going to add a UI corner to this UI corner, and I'm going to change the corner radius to 0.05, 0 or 0.02, 0, and I'm going to change the size of this to scale. So I'm going to leave the link to this plugin in the description. All you have to do is download the plugin, select your frame, press this unit conversion thing over here, and press scale on the size. And then I'm going to add a UI corner, I think. No, it's called a UI stroke. And I'm going to change the thickness of the stroke to around 3.6. And I'm going to change the color to a nice blue, like the Pet Simulator color. And I think that this looks pretty good. Actually, I'm just going to go for a black. And then I'm going to add a text label to this. Again, unit conversion scale. And I'm going to make this say, so change the text, scale property to true, and the text to, are you sure you want to purchase the, and portal name for, and 10 coins. Now this text will change, so don't worry, just change it to whatever you want for now. And I'm going to change the font to Verdokoen, and I'm going to change the border size pixel to 0, and I'm going to change the name of this to main text, or are you sure? And then I'm going to add a text button to this, and I'm going to position it right here. Actually, I'm going to have two buttons. One will be called yes, and one will be called cancel. Now I'm going to resize both of these buttons, and I'm going to change the, I'm going to add a UI corner to the first one, and I'm going to go to unit conversion scale again, and then I'm going to change the text to yes, and the text color 3 to white, and the font to Verdokoen, and I'm going to change the background color to a nice green, and then I'm going to change the I think I'm going to change yeah, I think this is good. I'm going to change the corner radius of this to 0.1, and I'm going to add a UI stroke to this. So I'm going to duplicate this UI stroke and drag it here, and change this to border, and change the thickness to maybe 3.8, and then I'm going to get rid of this cancel button, and I'm going to duplicate the yes button, and I'm going to change the background color to red, and I'm going to change the text to cancel, and then I will center these, and I will just change the property called auto button color, so that nothing happens when we hover over a button. And I think our UI should be done now. I'm just going to make this invisible, and I'm going to go back to my portal_server script, and I think after firing this remote, actually I'm just going to change this to ask purchase, and change this to ask purchase. And then I'm going to also change this to ask purchase. And I'm going to change this to ask purchase. And then I'm going to add a module script to replicate the storage, or maybe inside of star character, so star player star character scripts. And I'm going to rename it to portals_client. And I'm going to add a local script, and I'm going to call this portals, and I'm going to drag this portals_client module script inside of this script, and I'm going to do local, actually I'm just going to do require script.portals_client. And I'm going to enter this portals_client module, and I'm going to change the name to main module. And then I'm just going to get some surfaces. So local replicated storage is equal to game get service replicated storage, and then local portal remotes is equal to replicated storage wait for child portal remotes. And that's pretty much it. Now what I'm going to do is create a reference to the player. So local player is equal to game.players.local player, and then local portal ss for portal screen GUI is equal to player wait for child player GUI, and wait for child portal GUI. Now local main portal frame is equal to portal ss wait for child main portal frame, and local yes is equal to main portal frame wait for child yes, and local no is equal to main portal frame wait for child cancel. And I'm also going to change this to cancel, and then local are you sure is equal to main portal frame wait for child are you sure, and then that should be it. Now I'm going to go here and create a function prompt purchase function main module.prompt purchase, and I'm just going to get the portal, so portal, and that should be it. Now I'm also going to add a reference to the character, so local character. Actually, I don't think we need that. So prompt purchase portal, and I'm just going to do main portal frame dot visible is equal to true, and let's see if this works. Now I'm just going to do portal remotes wait for child ask purchase dot on client event connect, and main module dot prompt purchase, and let's see if this works. So play, and now I'm just going to okay, so we have a problem here. Require script.portal_client portals_client. Okay, so change this to script wait for child portals_client, and that should work. Okay, so as you can see now that works. Now I'm going to get close to this and press OK. So this does not work, and that is because our cancel button is not named cancel. So change this to cancel. Now that should work. Let's check if I buy this. Okay, so as you can see, it prompts this. Now we're gonna make it so that when we press cancel, this will just disappear, and when we press yes, we can actually buy the portal. So go back here to the client, and what I'm going to do is cancel mouse button one click connect function, and main portals frame dot visible is equal to false. And now if you play the game, that should work. And as you can see, that works. Now what I'm going to do is yes mouse button one click, so yes mouse button one click connect function, and instead of doing this, I'm going to add a remote event inside of replicated storage called purchase. And then I'm going to do remote portal remote colon wait for child purchase colon fire server, and that's pretty much it, I think. Actually, we will send the portal name. So okay, so I'm going to have a variable here called portal name, and that will be set to nil. And what I'm going to do here is portal name is equal to and portal dot name, and in here I'm going to do fire server, and I'm going to send the portal name, and then I will make the main portal frame dot visible. I'll make it invisible. And now if we go back to our portals underscore server, I'm going to create a function main module dot purchase portal, and that will take the player and the portal name. And now you can have a check here to check if the player actually owns the area where the portal is, but I'm not going to do that in this tutorial. So I'm going to check if and if player dot leaderstats actually local portal is equal to and works and portals colon find first child and portal name, and I'm going to check if portal if portal is equal to nil, then return end. And what I'm going to do here is local price, just copy this in here, paste it here, and then I'm going to check if player dot leader stats square brackets and currency dot value is greater or equal to price, then player dot leader stats currency dot value minus equal and the price. And then what we're gonna do is basically just teleport the player to the area. So what I'm going to do is local destination is equal to and portal find first child destination dot value. Now I'm going to do player dot character set primary part C frame and destination dot C frame, and now that should work. Actually, we forgot to call the function, so replicated storage dot remote event dot portal remote dot purchase dot on server event connect and main module dot ask purchase portal. And then I'm going to play the game and see if this works. So I'm going to go here, press E, press cancel, and now I'm going to press yes. And as you can see, it subtracts 10 coins from my coin balance and it takes me here. But as you can see, I can keep on rebuying this portal and we don't want that to happen. So to fix that, what I'm going to do is go back to my Leaderstats script. Actually, I'm not going to do this out of the Leaderstats script. I'm going to do here. So game.players.player added connect function, and that will take the player. And what I'm going to do is local portals is equal to and instance.new folder and portals.name change this to portals folder, and portals folder dot name is equal to portals, and portals folder dot parent is equal to player. And I think that should be it. Now what I'm going to do in here is check if player dot portals find first child portal name, then paste this in and just copy this and paste it here, else then we're gonna do all of this. And when we do this, we'll create a string value inside of the player's portals folder. So local portal value is equal to instance.new, and we're gonna create a string value, and I'm going to rename the portal value to portal.name. Actually, yes, portal name, and portal value dot parent is equal to and player dot portals. And now if you play the game, that should work. So I'm just going to press E, cancel, press E and buy this. And if I go here, as you can see, I have a value called portal1. And if I try to purchase this again, it just teleports me back here. Now what I'm going to do here is go back to my portals underscore client script. And what I'm going to do is update the text on the are you sure text label. So are you sure dot text is equal to, and do you want to purchase, and space dot portal name dot space for space and dot portal gonna find first child price dot value dot space dot and portal gonna find first child currency dot value dot and actually currency dot value dot and question mark. And now if I play the game, that should work. Oh, I did not check if that worked. I kind of forgot. So E, do you want to purchase portal 1 for 10 coins? And as you can see, that works. So now what I'm going to do is go back to here, and what I'm going to do in here, we will create the proximity prompt. I'm going to make sure that proximity prompt dot requires line of sight is equal to false. And now I think what I'm going to do is make it so that when you already own the portal and you press E, it will just say, do you want to teleport to portal 1 instead of this? So let's change that. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is check if player.portals can find first child portal name, then else. So in the else, we're gonna put this in, and in here we're gonna paste this, and instead of do you want to purchase, do you want to teleport to space that, I'm just going to get rid of this dot question mark. And if we play the game now, that should work. So if I go here, it says, do you want to purchase portal 1 for 10 coins? And when I say yes, that happens. Teleports me But when I try to do this again and press, as you can see now, it says, do you want to teleport to portal 1? And what I just realized is that it should not say, do you want to teleport to portal 1? It should say, do you want to teleport to whatever your destination name is? So we're going to change this to ... And what I'm going to do is change this to ... portal. Find first child, and destination .value .name, and that should work. Actually, what I forgot to do is change this destination, this part here, to maybe world 1. And that should work. So do you want to purchase portal 1 for 10 coins? Yes. And if I go back here, do you want to teleport to world 1? Yes. And that works. Now when you leave and rejoin the game, that does not save, so let's add that. Game settings, security, and enable studio access to API services. And I'm going to go back here to portals_server, and I'm going to add another event down here, actually just in here, game.players.player removing connect function, and local portals or owned portals is equal to an empty table. And for I, v in pairs player dot portals get children do. If v actually owned portals table dot insert owned portals v dot name, and then I'm going to get data store service from here. So local data store service is equal to game, get service data store service, and local data store is equal to data store service, get data store and in here you're gonna input your data store key. So just put anything and make sure to not change it. So my key for me, and then what I'm going to do here is data store set data store set async, and that takes the okay, so player.userid. Okay, so player.userid. Okay, so I'm still recording. Player.userid .portals and owned portals. Now what I'm going to do here is put pcall function, wrap this in a pcall so that it does not error. And here what I'm going to do is local data is equal to nil, and pcall function data is equal to, and data store get a sync get a sync. Actually, is it called that? So data store get a sync, and player.userid .portals. Now don't put a owned portals this time. And what I'm going to do here is check if data is not equal to nil, then, and for I, v in pairs data do local s is equal to instance.new string value, and s.name is equal to v, and s.parent is equal to portals folder I can't type. portals folder. And now what I'm going to do is put in game bind to close function, and for I, v in pairs players game dot players, I get players do just copy this, paste it here, and change this to v instead of player, and then just put a wait 1 second, and that should work. So now if you play the game and buy a portal and press yes, it creates the value. And if I leave the game and rejoin, as you can see, it did save the portal that I bought, and now it just says, do you want to teleport to world 1? And if you press yes, it teleports you. Now what I want to show you is what to do when you have a portal that's a model. So I'm just going to create a model real quick. I'm just going to group this. So what you want to do is, if you have a model, just put a transparent part. So transparency 0. I'm just going to change it to 0 for now instead of 1. Make it visible, and you want to position it in front of the door of the portal, if that makes sense. And then just make sure to rename that part to the name of the portal, and that should work. So if you play the game, because we changed this to get descendants, where is it? Just to get descendants instead of get children, that should work. And as you can see, it does. Okay, so that does not work. So I need to see why that is happening. Portal 1, we own it. Portals. Okay. Oh, I think I know why that is happening. Go to portals_server, and in here where we request, so purchase portal, what we're gonna do is, instead of doing this, I'm going to add a comma true, so that it's like find first descendant instead of find first child, and that should work this time. And as you can see, that works. And I think that's going to be it for today's tutorial. If this helped, make sure to subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.